So I've had 3 funded accounts and 2 payouts in the course of 9 months since I've started day trading, and I am still very unprofitable. And in this video I just wanted to do a little journey recap, 1 for myself as a bit of a reflection, 2 for just anyone else who wants to listen to this, as I'm sure many of you will be able to relate to a lot of my journey thus far. But I feel like it has been going pretty well. I know they say a lot of people quit day trading. I think they say most traders never make it and they end up quitting anyways. But I feel like there's something in me that is telling me, and I'm sure many of you can relate once again, that is just telling me that I am going to make it and I'm not too far off. And I think that the fact that it has been 9 months and I've been able to make 2 payouts and then get 3 accounts funded is enough evidence for myself, at least, to not give up on this, even though I am still very unprofitable and at a loss in terms of what I've put into the market and prop firms, I suppose, and what I've managed to extract from the market. But I'm not far off, thankfully, and a lot of that profit has been made back within the last 2 to 3 months or so. But of course, it's all a journey of learning, and it's only going to get easier and easier. And I feel like it's a very exponential process, where the start was very bad, where I was pretty much at a loss for the first 5 to 6 months, and I didn't make a single penny. And I put in a fair bit, given it was just an extra little side hustle that should have been making money, but the initial process was just losing me money month after month. And now it's starting to look up. And I just thought I'd make this quick little video. It might not be quick, I'll try and make it quick. Just going over my trading journey so far, and just do a brief little timeline as to where I've got to, and then give any thoughts and tips for you guys if you are watching this. This will probably be my first video on the channel, so it would be interesting to see how you guys relate to this. So as for my results thus far, I will pop screenshots on the screen around me, just going over what funded accounts I've passed and what payouts I've made, I suppose. I have been with Funded Trader Plus, Equity Edge very briefly, Funded Next, which was a very good experience, and then Alpha Capital, which has been a phenomenal experience thus far. But of course, every prop firm, I'm sure, has had its issues with various users, some more so than others. But as for my experience with Alpha Capital and Funded Next, which are the 2 prop firms that I got my funded accounts with, they've been pretty positive. Alpha Capital more so, as that's where I made those 2 payouts. And yeah, the journey is of course going to continue. I started off 9 months ago, back in 2025 July, and that's where I put £250 of my own money into a live account, and then ended up losing that. I did make some money at first. I think I got it to around £400, and then I ended up just losing it all from the same mistakes I will make to this day, where I will lose too much for my own good, and then I will start overtrading, trying to recover those, and then end up just losing more and more until I blow the account. And then I ended up moving on to prop firms, and the Funded Trader Plus account was the first one I moved on to, which was fairly expensive, given I was still a pretty new trader, and I probably still am. With this 9 months of experience, it's nothing in the grand scheme of things, but the fact that I was paying a decent chunk for a 10k account on not too much practice, and I know many people say go profitable on a demo account for 6 months and then jump onto funded accounts, but I personally couldn't do that, because it was practically impossible for me to not have my emotions play up when the money didn't affect me. Whereas on these funded accounts, even though it's not a full live account with my 10k, when I'm putting in my 30 to 60 pounds roughly to acquire these accounts, I still do feel that pressure of don't screw this up, until of course my emotions just go haywire and I overtrade into oblivion. But basically, in a nutshell, I made no money up until the 20th roughly of December last year, so that's 2025. I got my funded account, and that was an amazing moment. And then I ended up blowing it because I really thought it was one of those moments where you really think the market's going to turn around when you're mid trade. And I think I was up £300 at one point, which is phenomenal in itself. And then it ended up reversing, and then I couldn't take the loss, which was really stupid of me. And I ended up hitting the daily loss limit, and it was a very fun Christmas because I went into Christmas Eve with my girlfriend's family, and of course my family, and I just had the thought in the back of my head, the fact that I just blew my account, which was horrible. And then I took a massive break. Well, I say massive, it was a month-long break, where I started back in February, and that's where I bought the Alpha Capital account and passed that within 5 days. So it had 3 minimum days per phase, and I managed to do Monday to Wednesday past phase 1, and then of course on that same Wednesday they give you the phase 2 account, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday got the account passed, and it was all good. And then I also managed to make a payout in the next 3 days after that, which was absolutely insane. And then once I got the payout, I think the overconfidence got to me, ended up blowing the 10k. I bought another 10k and a 25k account with the profits I made, so I think it was roughly $300. But once again, I'll put the screenshot on screen as I speak about this stuff. And so it wasn't too big of a deal to lose that money, as I was using payout money to reinvest into more evaluation accounts, and then I ended up blowing both of those as well. And then I had another week or two break, came back and got another funded account in the same time frame, where I managed to do it in 5 days for both phases. And then I got an even bigger payout, which once again will be on screen, which was a really good feeling, and it did really validate my 8 month or so, 7 months of hardship, I suppose. And of course, as I said at the beginning of this, I am by no means profitable at all at the moment. I suppose to an extent I am, but I feel like everyone is to an extent, and it's just being able to lock in on your emotional side. That's kind of the key area where you truly need to just have it on lockdown and not overtrade after a loss, which is something I'm still struggling with, where I find it hard to look on my P&L and see a red number. Some days I'm fine with it, and some days I'm not fine with it. And I think a big factor on that is if I'm already in drawdown, I find it very hard to take the loss, whereas if I'm out of drawdown, I find it a bit easier, which I'm sure is very common. But of course, it's all a learning experience, so we're just gonna keep it moving and just take the losses on the chin and just try and get to that profitable state of mind. And then after I did make that second payout, I did end up buying a 50k account, as I thought passing 2 10ks would be enough, but I feel like it kind of messed with my mentality seeing the bigger numbers, and my psychology just it was there but also wasn't there, to the point I could have passed the 50k many times, but I was trying to go for these very big trades where I would be £3,000 up or $3,000 up on this 10k account with Alpha Capital, and then I wouldn't take it because I thought my analysis would take the chart to my 5k point, which it wouldn't. And I'd done that on 2 occasions within 12 hours, so I literally could have passed the phase 1 part of it in those 12 hours if I just took my 2 market analyses, if that's even the plural of that, and I could have passed it. And of course that wasn't the case. I blew the account, and then I bought another 50k, blew that as well, and here we are. Now I'm on my break where we have the Easter weekend. At least here in the UK we get 4 days off, so that includes the Saturday, Sunday, but the Friday and the Monday that sandwiches the 2, we also get those off as well. So it's a perfect time for me to have a little reset, and then I'm going to come back with Alpha Capital's 10k account, which is only £30, $40, and we're going to try our best to just learn from our mistake. Basically, I know I can do it because I've done 2 funded accounts now within 2 months, which is very just nice to think about, that I know I do have it in me, but it's just about controlling my emotions at this point and just keeping risk management at a high, which I feel like I always do, and the part it falls flat is the fact that I overtrade. So in none of my trades will I ever lose more than 1%, and that's on a very big trade for me. But I will just tend to be like, oh, this is only £50 that I'm losing, or $50 that I'm losing on this one trade. It's not much to the 10 grand balance, and then do it 7 times. And then be like, oh, I've only got $10 left in the account. And then at that point, I'm just like, I'm going to full port this, hope for the best. It's either I'm going to blow it or I'm going to bring the account back fully. And then that's pretty much the issue I'm having at the moment. But I've had time to reflect, so hopefully I'm able to keep my emotions in check, and I look forward to the week starting, as I will try my best to stick to my daily risk rules, which is very hard. Well, it's very easy to say and it's hard to do, as of course it's a big discipline thing, but I'm going to try my best and of course continue to document my journey. I do have quite a few little update logs that I've had recorded as I blew accounts, made payouts, had little down periods, but it was nothing in the sense of this video where it is just one big just rant, I suppose. But definitely do drop your lots of experiences down below, as I would like to read through what other people are experiencing as a beginner trader or inexperienced trader. As of course it's always nice to have people to talk to about trading, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I do have a nice little Excel sheet that shows me my payouts, what I've invested, and I think at the moment it's roughly $300 down, and I've put $1,000, or I think 1.1k pounds into trading as a whole, and I've made back 750, so I'm roughly 300 down, which is great to think about, as I was 2 months ago, so before my first payout in February, I was like a solid 1,000 down, or roughly 900 down, and I've managed to make a lot of that back in a very short time. And it's on the recent side of the journey too, which is always a good sign, as I feel like it's only up from here, and it's going to be hopefully an exponential journey. I'm contemplating if I go for another 50k account after this 10k account, or if I just build up 10k accounts. But of course, definitely drop your thoughts down below as to what you guys, or how you guys are planning to tackle your trading journey in the near future, and what your next steps are. As for me personally, it will be to get that 10k account, get a payout again, and then maybe try stack the 10ks, and if I'm feeling very confident, maybe go for that 100k account. But of course, we'll take it step by step, and on Tuesday, after the bank holiday Monday, we will get to work on executing our escape strategy from the 9 to 5. But with that said, guys, that does bring me to the end of this video. I don't want to make it too long, as it is already 14 minutes long based on what I can see on this camera. And yeah, I look forward to reading all of your comments, and definitely subscribe for a lot more trading content, and I'll probably maybe do a bit more vloggy style content if I have anything interesting planned. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.